Hello, how are you doing? Welcome back to the channel. I'm going to talk about this week of filmmaking. Make sure you subscribe, like, and hit the bell notification. I film this every Sunday. So we're following making my first feature film, and I'm going to tell you about this week we just had, which was week number 3 of our crowdfunding campaign. And I'm going to tell you the wins, the challenges, and what we've learned, but also more like what we're going to be going into next week and our hopes and dreams and goals. So let's go. Okay, let's start with drum roll. My smart flutter hands. We're going to start with our wins. So the wins for last week is crowdfunding week 3 went pretty well. This was a really freaking hard week too, and we'll get into the challenges in a sec. Also, sorry about the weird lighting. I hope you don't mind. I'm in a new place. So some of the wins of last week were that we really kept moving our momentum with our crowdfunding campaign, which was really good. I stayed consistent, which was great, posting. And I don't know if you remember, but my goal for last week for this week was to actually really pull back. I was very high strung. I was very stressed. And I feel like week 3, I really got to kind of relax again. It felt really, really wrong. I'm not going to lie. It felt like I was doing kind of something wrong, but I relaxed a bit. And by relaxing, I mean, I still posted every day. I was still engaging, showing the visibility, but I wasn't doing as many direct messaging. And I was kind of letting myself recoup because next week is going to be really hard, and we'll get into that. So yeah, when was that? I got to kind of relax, got to recover, and I also, felt really grateful. People were donating. It was a good week. Now let's get into the challenges. So challenges of last week were that it became very stagnant. So we went up, I think for week 1, it was we were at 23%. Then week 2, we were at 32%. And then week 3, we only moved up to 35%. And I think what's hard, it was really difficult because I kind of pulled back. And I bet if you watched what I was doing, you'd be like, Nick, you didn't pull back at all. It just felt like it did. And so it was just hard seeing the percentages kind of go down a bit. And I want to talk to you about this because the psyche for crowdfunding is so hard. I'm having a really, really hard time. And I thankfully have a lot in my life that I'm balancing it out with, but this is really difficult. This is hard, and this next week is going to be the hardest one yet, and I'm very nervous because this is where all the hard work, all the prep shows up. This is where all the visibility that I created matters. This is where you sharing matters, and this is where it really counts, and we really have to push hard. And so the really hard thing about this is I've been putting in a lot of work, but it's delayed gratification, and I just don't know if it's enough. I really don't. And that really sucks. I don't know. I mean, I think on the crowdfunding campaign, they have this weird curve graph. I'll see if I can put a photo here. It looks like we are above it for most of it, what's expected. So that gives me some hope. But, mentally, being at 35% for the beginning of week 4 doesn't feel right because 75% of the campaign's done. We should be at 75. However, everything I've learned is that that's just not how it works. We have the really beginning section that's really heavy, intense, and then we have this middle section slows down a bit until the last week. And so, as you're watching this, we only have probably 4 days left. And the thing that gets really scary is that if we don't hit 80% of our goal, we lose everything. So all the hard work will be gone. And I have to have faith. And, it's really challenging because I'm putting in all the reps and all the work, but I just don't know if it's enough. I hope it is. And it's hard because I really care, right? I clearly care about this film. I want to be pushing it if not. And the nice thing is people have donated, and I feel like people do believe in it enough that like, look at what we've done already. We've gotten 35%. That's incredible. That's like $7,000. That's insane. That's amazing. And I should be really proud of it. And I am. And I'm proud of all of us for doing it. I am really proud. I think another challenge is something I'm really facing too is like, how do you get people to care about this? I have been doing everything I've been taught to do, which is, through Seed and Spark, I was taught to really create visibility and to share passion and share why I love this. And I did really good this week with really switching up the content, talking about perks, like really diving more into like why this matters. But I never know if it resonates, and I really hope that the passion I have can be trusted to the people I'm delivering it to and say, hey, like Nick was really passionate about this. I trust that even if he can't articulate why he's so into this, that it's gonna be really powerful and meaningful. And that's what I've been trying to get across. And it's been challenging figuring out ways to do that. I've been doing like moods. I did some shorts where I really try to tap into like what it's gonna feel like. I, talked about perks, and yeah, my psyche's been fairly good, but I also think I've been distracting myself, which has been helpful. But yeah, I know it's gonna be. Last week was hard, like trying to talk myself and be like, it's okay that we're at 30s, like in the 30s, it's okay. But we never know. We never know what's gonna happen. So we can go into next week now. So next week, I am very scared. I'm not gonna lie. I am very scared because I know what this week's gonna look like. I've been prepping for this week this entire campaign. Before I even started the campaign, I knew that the last week of the campaign, crowdfunding, is gonna be really stressful because it's going to be a test of urgency. And creating the urgency for people, we only have a few days left to make this film, and that's really scary. It's really scary. It's scary considering that we had like 25 days and people kind of trickled in or whatever, and then you have like 2 days and you pray that people really will chip in. And I've tried to do my best in like really talking it through, like why it's worth donating. It's worth donating because this story will change people's lives. Sometimes I'm like, I don't even know if that's enough for someone to donate. Then I'm like, well, okay, if you're more superficial, which is fine. But I feel like if it's just more of a money thing, like, oh, you get a tax deductible, like it's interesting trying to figure out like, how do I convey that there's so many pros to donating? Like, oh, you also get perks, you get things, like there's so many great things to get, but I get stressed on myself because sometimes I feel like I'm not hitting everything. And I'm nervous that people aren't understanding. Even though the videos and people are still engaging, so it still shows that. But this next week, I have to do something really uncomfortable. I have to keep putting myself out there. And this is the really scary part where I'm exhausted. Man, I'm exhausted. I'm tired of putting myself out there in this film, and not tired of like, I want this to be done. I mean, I'm actually really emotionally and physically tired of. It's been a really long journey, and this last week I have to push even harder. I have to be more visible, and I have to be okay with rejection and people saying, Nick, like you've kind of talked to me too much about this. I have to be okay with that, and I'm really nervous about it because it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good to feel like, oh, you have some people that aren't going to be interested in your film, right? And it also isn't going to feel good to say, hey, I put myself out there and oh my God, we didn't hit our goal. And I know you know what that feels like. And I want to say that I know that the pros outweigh the cons. And I know that this film deserves to be made. And if I fail doing it, it's okay. And I also am realizing like, it's okay. Like if this doesn't work out, I will find a new way to do something. So I'm trying to like alleviate that. And it's nice because I don't think I have that pressure on myself, but it's something that's really easy to like, I see it as a slide. Like I could go down that little spiral slide if I wanted to. I don't, but I could. So yeah, so next week, and it's gonna ramp up, and I know that the last 2 days or last 1 day is gonna be a lot. It's a huge, like for crowdfunding, it's known that that's when people really donate. And so I'm just going to try and hold my patience up until that point and pray that I've shared this enough to enough people. And what's crazy is it just takes one person. It really does. It takes someone doing the cameo perk or someone doing the founding supporter perk, and we have this film. And like, that's what is wild, is that one person can change the whole ball game of this. And I hope they do. And I'm proud of myself. I think what's gonna be really interesting is that the next video you see, I'm gonna know pretty much if we're hitting it or not. And I wanna do a little reflection. I wanna say I'm so proud of you, Nick. I'm so proud of all of us here. It is so special to be so passionate about a story and to really push it through. And I'm just so proud of myself for doing this. Like, I don't know how I got the will to do this, but I did. I created this channel. I really pushed through with this project, and I really do believe it's because it's for the better good of humanity and people. And I just want to say thank you for being here and going on this journey, and I hope our journey continues, and I hope we can make this film. But it's been a lot, and I'm really proud of myself for just putting in the actions and the steps, and you know, whatever is going to be, and not letting that debilitate me and stop me is really powerful. And I'm really grateful and proud, and I'm grateful for you too for watching. And I know times are really tough, and that's probably why we can't get all these donations, but when I say that this film matters, it really matters a lot, and we can do this. And so I believe. I'm proud of myself, and I'm excited for next week. I know we can do this. I don't know how it's gonna happen. That's like the scary thing. I don't know how, but it will happen. So yeah, if you made it this far, please leave an emoji of an alien. I think that's our mascot. We did get our first member on YouTube, Alexa. I went live on Thursday, which is when I filmed this, by the way. So you're seeing this a little later. But I am going to go live on Thursday, when you're watching this, on the last night of our campaign to celebrate. And I just want to say, like, it's, yeah, thank you for being a member, Alexa. You guys can also join Patreon if you want to put your, Patreon's a really cool way because it gives me your email. So if you want to be like in the list for future projects, and I won't spam you a lot. I will spam you when I'm crowdfunding. But crowdfunding, it's not like I need your money. I mean, it would be nice. But the really beautiful thing about crowdfunding is it's your time frame where you actually can have an impact on a piece of art. It's really rare. I don't talk about this enough, but like, you have an impact on art at a specific window, and that's crowdfunding. You get to actually have a say. Like for this film, you could have a cameo, you could be in the film, right? That window isn't open forever. The story eventually gets solidified, but you enter it right now in crowdfunding when it's still malleable. And I think that's the coolest thing. It's like you can have an imprint on a film that holds a legacy forever. Yeah, it costs some money, and I totally get that, but you're gonna have something imprinted in the world forever. Like, I think it's one of the coolest trade-offs ever. And you don't get to have to do all the hard work. Like, you get to enjoy it and watch it. So yeah, if you want to put your email down, it's free to follow in Patreon. You can also donate there. I'll do exclusive content and stuff, but I'm just grateful you're here. And let me know too, is there anything you want to know about? Is there anything about filmmaking you want to know about? What do you like about these videos? What do you don't like? I'm always evolving, and I'm really curious on like what you would love this channel to be too. But I'm glad you're here, and I'll see you next Sunday, and send some good juju for the film. And if you haven't yet, check it out, donate, anything helps, and share it with people. We can do this. So yeah, I'll see you soon, friend. Bye.